Happy New Year everybody, and welcome back to my channel for a video that I wasn't expecting to make myself anytime soon. Welcome back to WRC8, and why are we back on this game? So I know what you're gonna say. You know, I have all these career mode videos. I said that was my last WRC8 video ever, but why am I back on this game? Why am I doing this again to myself after the controversial video that I posted on the WRC8 versus Rally 2.0 video? The reason for that is because this video has been getting around 48 views per day if I'm not mistaken, and since I uploaded it back in October of 2019, it has just been growing and growing, seeking even more attention because of my controversial opinion. A lot of people hated it, a lot of people liked it, but at the end of the day, you know, it brought attention to my channel and it helped me out to become a bit of a rally YouTuber or a bigger racing YouTuber. And the reason probably this video is still getting views up to this date is because WRC8 is actually on Steam and it is on discount. It's on sale at this point. So yeah, probably that's the main reason, because you know WRC only puts its game in the Epic Game Store, whereas now we've got WRC8 on Steam. You know, WRC9 will be out on Steam next September, but for now, you Steam users can buy WRC8. So the reason I'm making this video is about, you know, is WRC8 still a worthy rally title? Based on my previous video back in October 2019, I even said that it's better than Rally 2.0. Well, things might have changed since then, because I've been playing a lot of WRC9, I've played more Rally 2.0, so that opinion might be a little bit not so on point, if that makes sense. But I'm obviously here to show off WRC8, what it is missing from WRC9, what it has, what positives it has, what negatives it has, and what are the differences between this game and the latest WRC9 game. Because I think that's a very interesting thing. Like, would you buy WRC8, or you should wait until WRC9 comes out in Steam next September? We're going to be analyzing these things in today's video. And yeah, overall, I want this to be like a WRC8 review. I know it's a bit later, I know I wanted to do last summer, but I think now it's a great time because I see that this game is still getting attention, so I think it's the right time to do it right now. So, onto the game now we are. Pretty much that's the main menu, fairly similar to WRC9, a little bit more inaccessible in my opinion. I feel like the WRC9 menu is more accessible, you can navigate through it a little bit better, and has all the like options that you can actually get into the game, like career mode and all that, a little bit more compact in my opinion. But anyway, onto the content of this game. We've got on the single player, pretty much career mode, quick play, season mode, which is actually like career mode without the crew management, so you can create your driver and all that. You've got the test area, which you've also got in WRC9, and you've got the training events. As for the competition, pretty simple, online, which doesn't really work on this game. WRC9 has implemented it much nicer with a club system. You've got split screen leaderboards, daily challenges and all that. And now on to the big thing, which is the bonus car. So on WRC8 you've got the DLC of the Alpine, the Escort and the Lancia Delta, and you've also got the rear-wheel drive DLC, which includes the Porsche 911 and the Lancia 037. You've also got the Volkswagen Polo R, the Proton Iris R5 and the Lancia Fulvia. As for in general, the historic racing, rally racing, I would recommend you just buy the Rally 2.0. But if you still want to do historic racing on this game, WRC9 is better because it's got all these cars that you see on screen for free. But if you really want WRC8, then I would recommend the Ford Escort is the best option, and the Lancia Delta, fairly decent cars. As for the Alpine, it feels weird, and as for the rear-wheel drive DLC, it's a bit of a weird one because it includes the Lancia 037, which in my opinion is one of the worst cars you could get on a rally game. Like, it's my favorite rally car, it's one of my favorite rally cars on Rally 2.0, it just feels amazing. And on this game, it's just nothing like it. It's not bad, it's just the car just feels weird. The rear wheel drive doesn't feel natural, it has weird like reactions to the throttle. There's no grip at all, you can't literally go flat out, it's just a horrendous car, and it doesn't even excite me. Whereas the Porsche 911 is a very good car, we know it from WRC7, it's just a very, very, very good car, which is also free on WRC9. So Would I recommend the rear-wheel drive pack if you really want that?
Keep in, bumpy into caution, right 5, bumpy into hairpin left and bumps.
But yeah, as you can see there, I crashed, but the engine sound is just horrendous even on this car. But back to my main thing, would I recommend this rear-wheel drive DLC? If you really want the Porsche, then yes. If you're not really interested in the Porsche, then just don't do it. But either way, that's enough for the historic cars. I don't really want to waste too much time on the historic cars. I've told you my opinion. It's up to you now if you want to do historic racing on this game. Now the main thing is we've got the same Junior WC cars and the WC2 cars, but here we've got the Citroen C3, and you all probably will be saying now, but we've got it on WC9 as well. But yeah, but in this game, it can actually play a big role in your career mode. You can actually choose it for your career mode. You can actually, you know, choose it for online events. It's an official car. You can do a season mode with this car. Whereas now, you might have it as an option, but it's only for gameplay reasons. You can only do quick races and all that with that. So there's not really Citroen in the career mode. And we've also got the skin of the legendary driver Marcus Gronholm. And guess what? We don't have as many Hindos as we have on WC9, which is a bit of a blessing based on the constructor standings of the WC9 career. But as for the stages, they're pretty much similar. Whereas there's 3 old locations that we don't have on WC9, one of them being Corsica, which typically has been replaced with Japan. Now, do I miss Corsica? I really do. One of my very, very good, let's just say, tarmac rally, and it's sad to see tarmac rally just go, because the tarmac physics are great on these games, and I would love to have even more options for tarmac rally. We've got Sile, which was, or Seal, I don't even know how to pronounce it, I forgot pretty much, but it was a fun favorite. For me, it was a fairly boring location. It's got very high speeds and a few technical corners, and it was a great gravel rally, which has been replaced from Kenya, and Kenya I think is much better. Japan, someone could say, is much better than Corsica, but in my opinion, why don't we have these locations on the game? It's probably a license thing where WC just gets the licensed stages of each season, and then we'd have to pay extra for these locations, but I would love to have them in game. Unfortunately, we don't for the time being. We're also missing out on the one and only Spanish rally, which was the only location with mixed stages of both asphalt and gravel. And I mean, like, very, very mixed, like 68% asphalt, 30% gravel, 80% gravel, 20% asphalt. But obviously, we've got on WC9 this super special stage in Barcelona as a DLC. I've got it, but still, you've only got it as content. You can't use it on career mode or season mode or a custom career mode or something like that. You can't do it. You just have it there for the content, which is very unfortunate. And we've also got Australia, which was a fairly nice location. I still remember it down to WC7. It was the finale rally. It still is a finale rally around here, and it's got a very interesting super special stage, this location, Australia. Unfortunately, not on WC9 game, it was typically replaced yet again from New Zealand, which is probably one of the best locations of WC9. So I can't really say that you're missing out on good stages from WC9. You've got your stages, but I think that you know, you literally have Corsica, which is equally good as Japan. Probably Japan is one of my best locations. Corsica is a beautiful location. You've got Seal, and then you've got Australia instead of New Zealand. You're missing out on some, you're gaining some. But now I'm driving, I'll probably just know this stage. It's the well and truly Argentinian stages. Everybody knows these stages, and this was my favorite combination on this game. You probably remember it from the comparison video with Terra Rally 2.0. Driving the Ford Fiesta as Timo Sunen, I don't even know, around this Argentinian stage. Obviously, I'm a little bit washed out on this game. I'm not as good as I used to be. The handling is different on this game, especially on the main thing that has changed from WC8 to WC9 is how the car reacts to bumps and jumps. It had a very unnatural reaction over bumps and jumps on this game, which was a thing that I have to agree, like, the game just doesn't feel as natural as WC9 does, and people do not appreciate that. They do not note that on the positives of WC9. For me, the handling is the main thing about the game, and WC9 handling is absolutely great. It feels phenomenally good. But as for this game, it feels less natural, it feels weird on some points and all that, which makes obviously their Rally 2.0 a more consistent rally title. But in comparison to WC9, if you are a WC9 player, you know what I mean. You don't get any of these negatives on WC9, which is the main thing about me. Like, the handling model and all that is very important, and as long as it's better, it's worth it. But for the time being, when WC8 was actually up and running, I really liked it at first. I felt like it was a huge improvement from WC7, which it really was. But after a bit of time, by the end of the career mode, I was a little bit... Did my car just bounce off this bridge there? I've always had issues with the bridge, but that has never happened. Literally, just crossing there, the car just bounces off there. Either way, that's just not the best impression you would have got for the crashing models on the crashing physics on WC8. They're not the best, trust me. Even on WC9, the crash physics, they're just not good. Like, their Rally 2.0 has got that spot on. WC8 and WC9 just not really up to par with the classic standards that rally games should have. But either way, around the last episodes of career mode, I used to get a little bit bored with WC8, and that was down to the weird physics, the weird reactions that the car had over the bumps. I would get tired, and it's not a bad thing. I was just expecting more and more. I wanted more realism, and thank God we got it on WC9. But yeah, it got a little bit frustrating over the time on WC8. But it's only me. I'm not saying that you're gonna feel that necessarily yourself, but I feel like it's one of those things that you can't really avoid the more you play the game. But I was literally talking about my favorite combination, my next favorite combination, or maybe my favorite combination this time round, is driving around Corsica with the Citroen C3. The Citroen C3 in general could be said to be one of the worst cars in this game, as it just completely rammed this barrier there. Typically, the Toyota Yaris is the best. Together with a Hyundai i20, in my opinion, on WC8, they were far more closer than they are now on WC9, where the Yaris is just superior to any other car. And then after the Toyota Yaris and the Hyundai, we had the Ford Fiesta, probably equal with the Citroen C3. Now, what about that, you might be wondering? The Citroen C3 felt like an absolute beauty on tarmac. Might not be the best gravel car, but on tarmac, it felt maybe even better than the Yaris. It just felt very, very well on tarmac. Very natural feeling over the tarmac, stages, and you're still gonna get that on WC9. Obviously, the tarmac physics on this game, they're great. They're absolutely great. One thing I've noticed on WC9 though is that the cars lock up their brakes fairly easily. It's not like on the WC9 game where you can just step on the brakes very hardly and you know you're gonna stop. On this game, if you step very hard on the brakes, and bear in mind I'm actually driving on the load cell pedals, which might make a difference. My career mode was recorded on the Logitech. You can actually lock up fairly easily, and it's very weird. But I wouldn't be disappointed to have a few lockups here and there, but it felt a bit weird. And obviously now you don't get that. So overall, the handling model and all that is massively improved from WC8. You would have already known that if you watch my WC9 videos. But that doesn't make the experience of driving around a great tarmac stage with the C3, especially around Corsica. You don't get these stages on WC9. Just bear that in mind. These are pretty much exclusive to WC8. At least for the time being, I don't know if we're going to be getting like Corsica on WC9. Hopefully we can, but I highly doubt that, because the devs have said that we're not adding new locations, we're just adding stages to the existing locations at this point. And I get that, it's done with the licenses. Probably not, Kiloton doesn't have the biggest budget, and I respect that. They're doing the best they can. That's just all I'm gonna say. But either way, absolutely amazing thing. And if you really want to buy the game, that's the first thing I'm suggesting you to do. It's easier than the first combination of Argentina and the Fiesta, and it's also equally enjoyable. As you can see there, slight lockup on the brakes into the narrow path of narrow part of the Corsican stages. And I've actually got dynamic weather. I was expecting rain at the end. I don't know if it's going to come with only 200 meters to go, but yeah, there's still dynamic weather on the stages. very good feature in my opinion. And across the finish line with this beautiful Citroen C3, just about 1/10 of Thierry Neville, surprisingly enough. Remember, we lost the championship from Neville on the WRC8 career mode. If you haven't watched it, go and check it out. But yeah, one of my favorite combinations, absolutely great. Go on and try it out. The first thing you want to try out when you buy this game, it's that thing. And now we're driving the Toyota Yaris, the Marcus Graham Toyota Yaris, around Seal. So the main reason I never really got impressed by this stage, I like them. I'm not gonna say I didn't like them. Like every time I was ready to drive around Seal, I was like, okay, this is gonna be an enjoyable rally. And you all might be wondering at this point, why are you not really liking these stages then? They're boring. They're a bit boring. They're a bit wide. They don't have a lot of narrow sections, which is the thing I love about the stage design on the WC games. They're fast, they've got the technical parts, they've got a nice flow though, and I understand why people really like these stages and they're missing them. Whereas Kenya is a bit of everything. It's got a few very wide sections, but it's more technical, it's not as fast, it's got a bit of, you know, deeps and all that. I feel like Kenya as an overall location is better than Seal. It's just better in my opinion. I feel like we're not really missing out on anything. If anything, the WC8 pros are probably missing out on the Kenyan stages. But either way, Seal is very nice. You see pretty much what's going on. I feel like they are fairly easy stages, and that's one of the main things that really did put me off. I want to be challenged by the stages themselves. But on these locations, you're not really damaged, you're not really challenged, and might be a little bit too hard on these stages, but it's just my opinion. But I still like them, I still enjoy them, and I wouldn't say no if they were on the WC9 game. But obviously they're not, and that's your only opportunity to try out these stages. So WC8 game, Seal stages with the Toyota Yaris, the best car obviously in the game. Oh god! I never saw these things. There were like a little bit of sticks there, just on the edge of the track there. We just went over that. The car just did a flip there. We probably lost our rear wing. Is the damage model better on WC9? Yes, it is. You get more visual damage, but the crashing physics are still fairly bad as they are on WC8. So you're not really getting an upgrade on that, in my opinion. But as for the gravel physics, everything, I'm telling you again, just to clear this out, everything, tarmac is actually similar because it was already good on WRC8, so what really changes in terms of physics, the gravel handling is better on WRC9 and the gravel physics in general are better on WRC9, but they're not bad on WRC8, do not worry. The one thing that is very annoying about WRC8 is the physics over the bumps and all that, where you just completely lose the control of the car. Final thing for today, Hyundai around the Australian stages, which is also another location that is not on WRC9, and we've got New Zealand WRC9, which is, in my opinion, one of the best locations on the game. So, yet again, I think that people will really love Australia as a location. It's a very nice location. It's got a little bit of tarmac also as well, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's just a very good overall location, this one. But New Zealand, I feel like it's massively better. Not that this one is missing out on anything. It's challenging, it's fast, it's narrow. Like, I miss more Australia than I miss Seal, if I'm honest. But probably people got bored of Australia because it had been used for quite a long time. But either way, driving the Hyundai, the car that I'm more familiar with on this game. I just spent a whole career mode driving the Hyundai, but obviously didn't win the championship. If you really want to go check out this series, you can go on the WCA career mode playlist, and there's all the career mode episodes on that game right on the channel. But there you have it. That's probably going to be a little tarmac section now on this stage. There you have it. Through this gate, very narrow, absolutely lovely stage, this one. But yeah, the Hyundai feels great in my opinion, probably one of the best cars on this game, equally to the Toyota Yaris. Oh god, we just had a big crash, and I feel like it's a great way to end this video with a big crash, like I used to crash a lot on WC8. On WC9 we don't really crash, if I'm honest, but before we actually exit the game, I need to tell you something. There's a game-breaking bag, and it literally appeared one day after I recorded all my footage. and that means that if you actually I actually tried to record more footage for this video, but I couldn't because of this game breaking back. Now, don't worry, because the devs are aware of it. I thought they literally, I can't understand how an error can appear when you don't really develop the game anymore, but apparently this game breaking back, as you can see on screen right now, you can't play the game. This happens on the menus, this happens on... By the time you enter the game, this message just keeps on popping up and you just can't play it. But the devs are aware of it and they're working on it, and probably in 3 or 5 days with a new patch is going to fix that. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess that these things happen on the WRC games. Hopefully they can fix it, but I know they will, and you shouldn't really be worried. I just thought about showing you that because I want to be fair with you. I don't want like anyone to just buy the game and be like, what the actual heck is this connection error? Why was I not told about this? But I told you about this, but probably by the time you get this game, which is actually on sale on Steam, that's the reason I made this video. The game is on Steam and it's actually got a 50% off on the base edition, the standard edition, not the deluxe edition. Now it's up to you to buy the DLCs. If I was you, I would buy the rear-wheel drive pack just for the Porsche, not for the Lancia, and I would also buy the Escort. These are the cars that really are worth it in terms of the DLC. You can actually just go and buy the game. I feel like even the starter edition is just very good. You're not really missing out on anything. The more time you're going to spend is on the WRC cars, and you've got some very nice stages. As you can see, Corsica being probably my favorite location. I just absolutely love tarmac on the WRC games, and they implemented tarmac very well in Corsica with a very beautiful scenery and a very good stage design as per usual. But either way, that was it for today, guys. I'm very happy to be back on this game, even though it wasn't really a good experience. I'm not really liking this game anymore now. You know, I've moved on forward. I feel like WRC 9 was a huge step forward. If I was you, the customer, I would wait to get WRC 9. But if you really are in a hurry to buy a rally game with the modern WRC cars and for a cheap price, then 50% off on WRC 8, 100% worth it. You're gonna have loads of fun. But especially if you haven't played WRC 9 and you've only played WRC 7, the WRC 8 will seem ages in front of WRC 7 and you'll 100% enjoy this game. But yeah, pretty happy to be back on this game. You know, very good memories of this game, but obviously we're just building better and better memories on WRC 9. We already have more videos on WRC 9 than we did on WRC 8. But either way, that was it for today, guys. If you enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, ring that bell. Happy New Year again. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord server. Just check my announcement on the social tab on YouTube and you'll understand why I'm telling you to join my Discord server. But yeah, I obviously wish you all the best for the new year. I know it's been a very tough 2020, but I'm hopeful for 2021 to be much, much better. It's been your boy TM, and until next video, I'll catch you later. Goodbye.